Shit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Dice Mix podcast. I'm so glad that cut out what you said right before I hit start. I'm your host, TwitchShadowVO, once again joined by Ragerea and Subaki VA. So yeah, it's been a fucking year. Oh,
Has.
it has.
I just opened up a
Yeah.
new case.
Please tell me it's root beer again.
So the last can of root beer is there. I have Fanta.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyways, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Dice Bags podcast. The new people, welcome. The people that have joined the channel since the year, what was it? The Dice Bagged rap video, essentially. So yeah, welcome if you're new. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And today we're just going to be talking about how our year has been with Dice Bags Entertainment, with me and Subaki being voice actors, with just kind of everything in general. But yeah, so today I don't got a script. I don't have any questions on the sidelines, so today is going to be a lot more ad-libbed. So I apologize.
Brilliant today, baby.
Yeah. I apologize if you have to hear me say the words huh and 1,000 times as I'm trying to collect my thoughts. That's just how it's going to have to go. And there is, okay, at the beginning of every podcast, there is the crack that starts it all.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
At one
sir.
point,
It's tradition.
we need to release a bingo card. Can you
Yeah.
tell if one of us is highly out of his mind on the substances? Check. Did
Yeah.
somebody crack a root beer at the beginning of the episode? Check.
Yeah.
What else? What other things do I dox about Shadow?
I mean, listen, man. It's approaching the weekend, but I haven't started drinking or anything, so you can't really dox me on that.
It's fair, but fuck it. Go ahead, go hard. I don't care about
Yeah.
that.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast where we wonder if A, Subaki's drinking a cold one, or B, Ragerea has sparked up a joint. We live in areas of the country where that is legalized, so it is fine.
Don't at me.
Don't at him. Yeah.
And
no,
I'm the downstairs neighbor.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, if Trump gets his way, we just might be in the same country, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not get into politics. Otherwise, we can make an entire episode out of that.
Dude,
We could.
I may or may not have accidentally clicked a video and then briefly played the Dice Bags intro for a second there. Anyways. So we're talking about kind of a year in review.
Yeah.
For both Dice Bags as a channel and kind of us personally. Going for the channel, the first video we ever did was a Dice Bags gaming video for fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just want to say one thing about that. When we recorded it, we were using the Tired Geek Clayton's setup, and holy fuck did the audio suck in that. You could hear a buzz in the background through the entire fucking thing.
I'm 90% sure I heard a beep from a fucking the fucking fire alarm is beep.
Actually, no. We didn't have a fire alarm in our fucking apartment at that point.
You didn't have the smoke alarm going
No.
24/7 to drive him nuts.
No.
That was
Oh, right. No. Okay. So, little inside joke as well. Just to mess with my roommate, I had the one of those videos where it's 10 hours of silence interrupted occasionally by a smoke alarm beep. I put that on a speaker in our living room, and I just fucking left it there. Eventually, I went out of my room and it fucking chirped again. He's like, "Where the fuck is that coming from?" Like he was starting to fucking lose it.
Well, not only that, like literally like 2 days later, when we were doing D&D, I started playing one.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess like because this is the channel's like first year, I might as well go into talking about the origins of things.
Yeah, we're little
Yeah.
babies. We
Yeah.
want mom. We want milkies.
God,
No.
please don't ever say that again.
Can I get phrases I don't want to hear from another human being's mouth for 500, please?
Yeah, hey, I had that on my bingo sheet now. No, the origin of the channel was I used to play I still play D&D with my IRL friend group, and at one point Digi had the idea of starting a YouTube channel. I forget if it was me or Digi, but that idea crossed our minds, and then everybody started pitching in ideas and what our name would be. I think we landed on the name Dice Bags during a night of like fucking hard drinking, and that was like the origin of the name itself. As for the logo for Dice Bags, that was a D&D character I created for a campaign called Newt the Fire Newt.
Yep, real fucking creative.
Real creative. And the only difference I made to the art for that to make the channel art is Digi had the idea of making him like throw up a rainbow, so I was like, all right. So that became the channel art. So that started the origins of the name and the art for the channel. And then we were kind of going on what are we going to do once the channel got started? So originally the idea was just to do gaming content, but roughly around February of this year, I was like, I gotta be honest, guys, I'm missing a bridging. So I got back into voice acting again, and the first thing I did was make the casting call for. Oh, okay.
Mixtures.
It was a Bridge Mixtures, and the first thing I believe we started scripting for was Fate Apocrypha. Mostly because there was an ongoing joke by Rage of when episode 2 was going to come out. So before I made Dice Bags Entertainment, I was one of the founders of A Solid Effort with Elise Bellamy, or Sovereign Elise, and we made a Fate Apocrypha abridged, and that only got one episode. So Ragerea in the back was like, so when are we gonna get episode 2? Because do you want to?
Okay. Okay, hey, let's get this fucking started. You're putting way too much energy in this. I made a little joke about it once.
He made a little. Okay. No. It wasn't once. You mentioned it at like least 3 times. Whenever I brought up me doing a bridging, you were like, okay, so when's episode 2?
Okay, after like a while, I was like, okay, if it's his choice in the end, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm just here to fucking break his balls.
Yeah. So eventually when I was doing like the idea phase for a bridge mixture, I was like, well, we could start up Fate Apocrypha again. And then eventually from there, I realized the script's getting a bit long for a bit now. So I decided to just make that into episode 1.
Yeah.
So episode 2 will finally be a momentous occasion where that self-fulfilling joke becomes real. Anyways, yeah.
What are you just gonna in the after credits and there and you're welcome, Rage. Now fuck off.
Yeah.
I kill me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm looking at casting call right now, going through like some of the original stuff for that.
Man, I still remember like actually looking at the audition that I had done in that February. Oh my god.
Yeah. So you
I take
submitted
myself back a bit.
you submitted a audition on February 25th for both Sieg and Prompto, and I believe I casted you pretty close to like the same day.
I believe you did.
Yeah, and you were like one of the first people that joined in the Discord. Secondary to that was actually the first person we actually cast was, I believe, Hugfiend, who was supposed to be the original Siegfried in episode 1 of Fate Apocrypha Abridged. Before we had some scheduling issues for recording lines, and then I forget who had the original idea to make fucking Siegfried Canadian as shit.
It was you.
It was you.
Was it me? I remember
Yes.
we were having that conversation.
We had this talk
Yeah.
where the joke of the bit that you wanted to do throughout the series was okay. The bit was you wanted to do a different accent until one of the final episodes, once Sieg actually has proper fucking control of Siegfried.
Right. Yeah.
So you started off with Canadian.
Yep. And I believe in episode 3, I already have a good fucking idea of the accent we're going to be using for that one. And
What invaders
I
them?
believe the secondary idea behind that was to keep changing the fucking voice actor as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to keep it fluctuating before we actually settle on his official voice once he settles in. But anyways, yeah. The first voice actor I believe we cast was Hugfiend as Siegfried. Yes. Immediately after that, in February 12th, that is when Geet Archon from our original crew at A Solid Effort re-upped as Hay/Lee from Darker Than Black, and then we got him as his original role, Rocco Belphegor.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a really good voice actor, honestly, and I was like really ecstatic to have like somebody from the original crew joining back up. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah, and then ever since then, it's just been a fever dream.
Ever since
Pretty
then,
much.
like once we got like the ball rolling on a lot of things, we had a little bit of a hiccup, mostly because back then it was just me doing a lot of like everything, I guess. But especially around like the February to March time, I was like fucking cooking.
You were.
Yeah. So aside from working, I was also voice acting. I was doing like two gaming videos a fucking week. I was doing sound design constantly. Weekends I was hanging out with my friends. Like, I was busy. And I still, like, looking back on it, I don't know how the hell I got all that time. Like, I still don't, really.
I don't think you slept, but
yeah.
you disagree with me.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, even around that period, I was still settling into my apartment, right? And like to do all of that on top of everything else was a fever dream and a half.
Fucking wild you did that shit.
Yeah. We eventually got episode 1 of Fate Apocrypha out, which was like a momentous occasion for me. I remember like right around that time, like I kept harassing you, Tsubaki. Every single time I got more work done with the abridged, I would immediately send the clip I worked on over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the sound design back to me, and I believe it didn't even take me a week because I just stayed up night after night fucking working on it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I remember you told me specifically, like, on, like, those few nights that you specifically, like, stayed up that late just to keep working on it. And I'm like, motherfucker, please.
Yeah. I felt
Like,
a
listen,
little bit...
I know I do this shit on the daily, but motherfucker, can you not? And can you get a proper sleep schedule?
Yeah. around that time, we had another member of Dice Bags, which I constantly would harass with like clips of what we were working on, and like yeah. I essentially became the most insufferable asshole for like a week as I was working on Fate Apocrypha Bridge because like I can only imagine this from your site where our time zones are vastly different. Like roughly around like 5 a.m, you get a fucking ping on your phone. What the fuck?
Oh no, like bro, I got used to like getting notifications at like very early on in the morning
Yeah.
because there was one time that a notification actually took me off guard for it being as early as it was in the morning. And it was like this little thing I did like a long while ago, like back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still like a big fan of like a couple shows. And I remember I drew a little like fan piece of like Naofumi from the Rising of the Shield Hero.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then like at 2 in the fucking morning, and like I woke up at 5 because like high school buses being like oh yeah, get to the bus stop by like 6:15, otherwise you're gonna miss the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I woke up at 5 and then I look at my phone and I see like an Instagram notif and I'm like, fuck. Like what happened with Insta? And then I just see Billy Kometz has liked your post, and Billy Kometz has made a comment on your post, and I'm like, what? So, literally, I'm already used to late night and also early ass morning like notifs,
Yeah.
just because of that, but also because of like friend group like group chats that I'm in that are just like spam.
Yeah, no, I get that one. Yeah. But yeah, that little period of me working on Apocrypha, I just kept harassing you and that other member of Dice Bags at the time with like every single like little bit of progress that I was doing up until it finally was complete and we shipped it out.
Bitch, you were like
Yeah.
Heathcliff. At one point, I think I saw the face of God. Turns out it was just my janitor.
Yeah, gave him an ego boost. No.
I was saying that for weeks.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm still laughing at like the occasional bits like here and there where I know like sure as shit it was a fun time to really look back on anything else that was like there,
yeah.
because I know that there was like a few of the other ones that were just like it's a pain in the fucking ass. Because I know one of the things that it's just like there, I think the one that still catches me off guard is actually for the abridged bits for the camping one.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm like I still laugh at that notion that the fucking outtake
Yeah.
is the most quoted thing
On the channel.
on the channel and in the server between people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I look at that and every time I see it and I'm like, oh no.
That shit is still
I know
quoted by my like IRL friends whenever I bring up the abridging project.
It's like, so you got any beans, man?
No, I literally quote that shit probably daily.
Yeah.
God damn it, I started laughing like prompted.
No, originally like you became somewhat of like a weird mythical figure in my friend group for a while before
Oh, yeah.
before everybody got to meet you. Before
I was
Spartacus
just
was
known as the Prompto guy.
yeah, it was Tsubaki VA, the Prompto guy, aka the Beans.
Soon enough, he'll be the circumcised boy.
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of which, you still haven't sent me that line.
Can we just have that as just? Can we just have a scroll of quotes and it's just gonna be guess who's getting circumcised?
No.
Tsubaki VA.
So I am reviving a bridged mixture back, but it's essentially just going to be like comic dubs and shit, you know, like just randomly,
Yeah.
randomly like weirdly
Yeah.
quotable bullshit that we could throw into like one video with like a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the idea of bringing a bridge mixture back, but we are still going to be doing like the episodes and then the abridged bits.
Yeah.
So that'll be a thing. Because I mean, now that I'm no longer working like on the Dice Bags gaming side of things, I can focus a little bit more time on our abridging stuff, which is cool. So big credit, big ups to Digistruct and Tired Geek for taking over on that side of things, so that I can let a little bit of that weight off my fucking back. Although I am insufferable and I will still demand on like editing some gaming videos from time to time. I mean, I'm editing the zombie video of like me and Digistruct playing Call of Duty still.
Yeah, but like when you're there, you probably want to do it anyway, so it makes sense.
I am a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my own channel for the gaming videos, and that is completely my fault. But I'm weirdly enough, I'm not as perfectionist about our abridging content. Like, yeah, I want it to look great, but I mean, it's only fan-made content. Like, yes, I want it to be like the best I can make it, but I also don't want to break my back over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm getting like a fucking salary for doing that.
Yeah, if you were paid for it, then
If I was
yeah,
getting
sure,
paid for it, then like I would, I would become like an OCD perfectionist for that type of stuff. But if it's just only to send some entertainment to like the fans, I am fine leaving it a little bit unpolished, but not to the level of like scuff bad. You know what I mean?
Also, on a little side tangent,
I'm sorry, what? I see nothing.
Did you like blank?
You did you like blank out on that because
cut
it
out
went
that? Fuck.
completely quiet.
God damn it, I cut out there, didn't I?
Yeah, you totally did.
Son of a bitch. No, I was gonna say, if we ever get like stupidly big like Joe Rogan, let's just smoke blunts and do stupid shit all the time.
I would love nothing more than to just like blow up randomly and then just like be living the life doing nothing but YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just shooting a fucking Cybertruck with a bow.
Yeah. If Elon Musk wants to sponsor our next podcast video so we could shoot a fucking Cybertruck with a bow and arrow, contact my email, man.
Yeah. Just please don't buy D&D.
Yeah. No,
I don't want that.
No, but getting back from our little side tangent, yeah, we had a lot of projects that started out strong, I should say, and then quickly got hit with like development hell.
Yeah, but this year's shit anyway. So,
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
I think like the major thing behind that is like we got Apocrypha done, and that like took a lot out of me to get everything that far.
Yeah,
All the copyright bullshit.
Not okay. It's not only the copyright bullshit, but it was the constant recasting and the constant like because during Apocrypha, like right at the end there, we had to fucking recast and then reshoot, and then that took like a lot out of me, both emotionally and professionally, doing that shit. Because
that makes sense.
Well, like the reason for that, like
It was within reason to actually technically go through with it.
Yeah.
But even then, it's just like, what the fuck
Well,
else can you really do with it?
Well, I mean, we were right at the cusp of finishing everything, and we were basically on the final edit. All I had to do was add the intro. I did release it preemptively to Dailymotion, but immediately upon the departure of one of our members, I wanted to recast it and re-record it immediately so that it affects...
For the sake of consistency.
For the sake of consistency, exactly. We wanted to, just so that there wasn't this, like, glaring issue in episode 2 that, like, oh, hey, this person sounds different, right? So Yeah. And then
Yeah,
recasting took like almost, I want to say like a fucking week and a half. And then on top of that,
Yeah.
we had to go into the recording. We had to go back into recording. We had to get the new actors' lines in, and then I had to go back to the grindstone and basically re-lip flap most of those entire scenes again, which was fucking bullshit. Especially
Yeah.
after like being done that already, and like I already had a fucking bow on everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then I had the glorious idea of including a Shiro and Semiramis scene at the end there, which took more time to do because originally Semiramis and Shiro weren't supposed to appear until episode 2, which was going to cover the second half of episode 1, like the summoning.
But you did make a good meta joke with it.
But I did make a good meta joke out of it, and I'm gonna pat myself on the back for the scripting of that one, and I probably am not gonna fluke out with a script like that again. So going forward, I have to majorly focus on like character development and like the usual scripting bullshit. Because
That comes with abridging.
that comes with abridging, because the meta jokes, I already got comments from some of our fans. It's like a little bit too meta jokey, not gonna lie. And I'm like, okay, noted.
Hey, everyone's
Yeah, that's
allowed
fair.
one. They can get off your back about it.
Yeah. Actually, no, I think I made 2 meta jokes during that.
Okay, to be fair,
Because I think like the first meta joke was either, yeah, it was the abridged reboot still that's like been like,
Yeah, it was your
so long in
line
the
as
making.
Sieg. Yeah, it was your line as
and then your line as Shiro.
and then the Shiro line of like, you know what? We still have all of our servants, and we might get an episode 2 out of it
If this goes
Yeah,
well.
but-
if this goes well.
but that one's funny.
Yeah.
That one actually takes like some good like punch out of it too.
Yeah, the reason why I think out of both of the meta jokes, my favorite one was the Sieg one, is because Sieg is already the narrator, and he's already like talking about the events and like
He's
the
already
past
seeing
tense.
the
He's
events.
already seen the events, and like throwing a meta joke in there is like
Made sense.
it makes sense for him.
like not only for your own history with like a version of a abridged series that was going to be for Fate Apocrypha, but it works as well with it being that tie-in narrative piece to be like, Sieg's already seen this shit,
I
but
think
we're also pressing a double rewind button here.
Yeah, I think my biggest fear was that the people I used to be involved in that second abridged or that first abridged would have taken that as like a cheeky insult, which it wasn't meant to be. It was meant more or
No.
less to be a callback, if anything.
Yeah.
Because like I've learned so much doing that first abridged. And going into the second one, I gotta pay like a little bit of homage to that.
Know where you came from.
Know where you came from and where you're going, and
At least acknowledge where you came from so you may use it to the present.
yeah, exactly. And that being said, like I got nothing against like some of the members of Dice Bags that we had to let go, because they were an initial like founding piece of where we were going. A lot of their ideas did make it through, and a lot of their ideas helped shape what we were becoming, so to speak. And like some members did leave in less than favorable conditions than others, but like they're all regarded positively, at least by me, just for what they brought to the table. And I really didn't want to have the impression of like they left our
Bitterness.
group and thus they're bad people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't want to come off bitter.
Yeah, because that's not the case. Like sometimes things are born. They live and then they stop. No, I'm just kidding.
And then they
No,
die.
no,
That sounded awfully familiar. Wait.
yeah, no. Can we get copyright for other bridging content? No? Okay, we're in the clear.
No.
No, but what I meant by that was like just because you have to part ways with some people for one reason or another, like it doesn't mean that all of it was shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean
Yeah,
that
that's
everything
good.
was bad. And like a lot of the ideas that those members brought to the table were valid. Like there's some bits and some like takes that were that I've gotten through that. There's ideas like hell, even some of the original founding ideas for dice bags was brought to the table by one of the members that are no longer part of the group. Like they helped us basically niche in the gaming format that we wanted to do and the kind of style that we were going for. Which, I mean, like, it's hard not to credit people for the work that they did, even if they're no longer with the group. You know what I mean? Now, for some of the other members that voice actors that just
And now the shade.
no, I'm kidding. But what I meant by that is like
No, he's not.
for some of the workers that were voice actors that their roles didn't even see the light of day because of the either scheduling issues or the fact that we had to re-record over some stuff. I still appreciate the takes that they brought to the script, and I used that as direction for the people that I wouldn't say replaced. I wouldn't say replaced.
Stand in.
The stand-in / reprisal of their role. You know what I mean?
As the proper term goes, for both regular theater and technical for voice acting as well, the understudy.
Yeah, the understudies. They learned a lot from the people that originally were those roles. For example, Morgan and Tara, when they were studying for their roles as Semiramis and Jean, they were looking at the previous actors' interpretation of that and then basing it off of something similar. Because like that was already established as the direction we wanted to go. The same was for Spartacus and for Siegfried, but we did dramatically change Siegfried. Because
I was about to say, I was like, who the fuck else was Sieg?
Okay, Siegfried originally was supposed to be his voice was supposed to be similar to Philip Graves from Modern Warfare. Like he was supposed to be like a, how's it going, everybody? Never back down, never what? Like he was supposed to be like a team player. You know what I mean? Like
Team player.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like the team leader. He was, he was supposed to sound.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
No, that bullshit. Yeah.
But
I thought you were subtly firing Tsubaki there, by the way.
No. I mean,
like,
technically,
what do you mean?
Sieg is named after Siegfried. That is the origin of Sieg's name.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. When I did my take as Siegfried, I had a little bit of that in mind, and that is what drove me to Shorzy in the end. I basically took that like bombastic, loud and proud attitude, and I just dialed the Canadian all the fucking way up for that. And then that's fucking how we got Shorzy, eh? Give your fucking balls a tuggy tit, fucker. So leaving Fate.
Because when he activates his noble phantasm, it sounds completely normal.
Oh yeah.
When I said Balmung, it was hard to do that in like a Shorzy voice.
Yeah.
And sound pseudo serious. So when I shouted out Balmung, I did that in just like basically in that voice, I was doing the original Siegfried voice actor's line as closely as possible to him. Mostly because that take of it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. We just count it as the Grail glitching with the servant.
Yeah, we'll count that as like a little glitch. But going ahead, but going further ahead in the year, let's get into the other half of our abridging content.
It's like, what the fuck?
It got real crunchy. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're all good.
My XLR cable has been messing up lately there. So if I tap it even the lightest, it makes this crunchy sound, and I don't like it. Anyways, going into what I'm going to call second quarter, we have Final Fantasy Abridged, which the crew from that one, we got like, I would love to say like they were an all-star cast. Like Slender as Gladiolus and Orpheus as Ignis, they were fucking great. They did their roles perfectly. I did have to go back and get a couple of retakes done, just because some of their voices sounded it didn't sound like conversation was happening. It sounded like people saying voice lines. So we had to basically go into the recording booth again, and then we played the we basically did a table read as we recorded so that the lines sounded fluent. But that Tsubaki and Noctis voice actors, they were horrible. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, them guys need to get fucking beat.
Yeah.
Man, don't you self-deprecate yourself, motherfucker.
Yeah. No, it's hard to like say you were anything but perfect, because like when you got into the booth and recorded Prompto, you snapped into that immediately. You made some fucking bloopers that made it into like the script, because I was like, that is too good not to keep in. And the hilarious thing is like when you were recording for Prompto, you you stayed in the voice even when you weren't. You know what I mean? You stayed. You
didn't break character.
You didn't break character even when you were not
I
on
stayed
script.
basically in character despite being off script.
Yes, exactly. And that's how we got the beans.
That's always the best part about it, though, because
Yeah.
like it's just like you get to have fun with it. And when you stick with the character voice for as long as you do, you get to have a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Which is honestly why every chance I get to either do Prompto or most voices done by these three guys. So we have Robbie Damon, we have Joe Zizia, and then we have Billy Kometz. Those three guys, I have a good bit of like the range to at least interpretate and like just switch between.
Mm-hmm.
That I go on a field day with it, and I'll just go back and forth, and either do banter or I just go and make bits on the fly. And it's it's a fun time.
I still really want you to do a little German boy voice for young Prompto. I don't know why, but I do.
Yeah, when we get to episode Prompto, that'll be pretty funny. Mostly because, like, for the majority of that episode, it's just him.
I'm
like,
just alone.
Yeah, it begins with like a like an offhanded like thing of like Noctis and Prompto, and then Prompto thinks that Noctis called him fat, and then he goes on this like self-discovery journey of like getting into shape. And then right at the end, Luna Freya finds her dog, and then it establishes their bromance. Like it's like, but for the majority of episode Prompto, it is just Prompto and like a couple side characters every once in a while.
Bros before hoes.
Yeah. But yeah, I am looking forward to like getting to episode 2 and 3 of Final Fantasy, well, 4 as well, just because I want to see I want to see like our actors
Pop the fuck off.
Like pop the fuck off and like really dial into their characters. Like Slender as Gladio during episode Gladiolus is gonna be something that I'm looking forward to. Same with you in episode Prompto and Ignis, right? Because like in episode 1 we don't really have a whole lot of time to go over
It's the all-rounder.
who are they as characters, right?
But it is like an all-rounder to be like, all right, we know that this be the group of boyos.
Yeah.
They recently got into shit with the Empire, and they're on the run. And that's the majority of what's there for that first episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like weird chronologically.
Yeah.
It applies to the game as well, because then, like, because I believe Brotherhood came out before they did all the DLC episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I believe Brotherhood.
it makes me weird about like some of them when I look at that, and then I like look at Brotherhood and I'm like, did you just change the origin of Prompto?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened?
Because
when?
Because yeah, there's some spoilers in episode Prompto in the game that strangely don't add up to the fucking
What
Brotherhood.
is in Brotherhood?
Yeah. But going off of that real quick, there's a lot of stuff that gets covered in Brotherhood and then you never hear from again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like nothing that happens in Brotherhood is even mentioned in the game.
Yeah.
Like a few things get mentioned, but it's like they don't really happen.
Yeah.
Or they got changed with the DLC episodes, and I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Although you do get to see Fat Kid Prompto in episode Prompto in the game. It is strangely anachronistic with the story they're telling.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. The Prompto project, or the Final Fantasy project. What is your thoughts on that? Being more in the voice acting role for that project.
Man, I'm gonna have a baller of a time with it. Not just like laughing my ass off at the script, but also in general, just I'd say like it's just one of the more fun times to do it with, because I mean, like, hell, again, how the fuck does a blooper become the most quoted thing between you fucks?
It's either A, the script is bad, or B, the blooper was just that good.
The blooper was just that good.
Also, just to let you know, I like the hyperfixation onto things. That's usually why these things happen. If it's funny, I'm gonna kill the thing.
He likes to hyperfixate on like quotable stuff. Whereas the script is fine. There's a couple of moments in there that are, I would say, quotable. But like that was an incredibly quotable fucking blooper that you made.
Entirely on accident too.
Like
I just went off with it, and the bit just kept going and going. Like I compared it to the original file. The whole bit was like like a minute and a half, like including the silence, because like it was me starting like it's like, you know, Noct, beans might be your last fucking meal, dog. And then after a little while, like about like 10 or so seconds of silence, I then do that little giggle. And it's like you know, like your dad's dead. You just got us. I mean, your fiance may or may not be dead, but look on the bright side. I think this may be beans.
Yeah, I think like another thing that lent it well for that being so quotable was the way it was cut up and then rearranged, because there was an actual lot of time between each of those sentences during the actual recording process, but we were mostly just like bullshitting around during that.
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah.
And then me going back and forth, like doing the voices myself, just to be like making a bit out of a bit.
Yeah. And
with just like the fucking like it's like Ignis can't cook for shit, and this man has the audacity to say, "That's it. I've come up with a new recipe." And then Gladio has no issues and just says, "It's the ultimate flavor experience, dog."
I still like how you were able to like go into different personas of the characters but make them sound different, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it sounds like Prompto trying his best to sound like the other guys, and that's what I think sells the bit.
Oh yeah,
it is what sells the bit.
He would 1000% do that.
And then Ignis is like, "That's it, I've come up with a new recipe." And then Gladio is
Shut the fuck up, Ignis!
And then Gladio is like, "It's the ultimate flavor experience," and it's just like an egg.
It's like, see,
on some.
See my point?
Yeah.
Fucking cup noodles, man. Cup fucking noodles.
Yeah, cup noodles 15. Anyways, leaving Final Fantasy 15 in the behind for a second, as we accelerate at Mach fuck, going further into the year. We had the I think the first sign of the Fate Apocrypha abridged. So originally the upload schedule for abridging content was the no context Prompto clip, which is also the second most quoted thing in my fucking friend group, which is the
fuck happened to the nugs?
fuck happened to the nugs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If not, I think I quote that more.
Yeah, and then we get into the Fate Apocrypha abridged bits, which was essentially abridged bits was conceptualized during that time. Instead of being a bridge
like teaser
mixture,
shit.
it was a teaser, right? Abridged bit 1 Grail War was like part 1 of Apocrypha, or no, not part 1. It was like part 2 of 3, and
Yeah.
that was just the Rocco Belphegor talk with Kairi Shishigo.
Yeah.
And
Have you ever heard of Fortnite?
Have you ever heard of Fortnite? Beep, beep, beep.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Dude, no, you should have. If you ever do like a fucking, you know, how fucking Dragon Ball Bridge did the fucking Kai episodes where it's just like a super flashed edit of it. You need to do the fucking magical school bus honk instead next time.
That'd be
Please
funny.
let this be a normal Grail War.
Now we're going into Arnold.
No.
Who's Arnold?
If we ever do like Fate Stay Night, either Heaven's Feel Unlimited Blade Works or the Fate route, if we ever do like a Dragon Ball Kai Bridge type bullshit, we got to do the other route but at hyper speed. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
So let's say hypothetically, and this doesn't mean we're gonna do it, by the way.
No.
And this is me talking as Archer telling you I'm not going through that timeline. If we were to hypothetically do let's say Unlimited Blade Works, right? And we see that through to the end, like how we want to do with Fate Apocrypha. At the end of that, if we decide 1 year to do like a recap of sorts, like Dragon Ball Z Kai Bridged, or Dragon Ball Kai Bridged, we will instead do Heaven's Feel, but at like double the fucking speed.
Literally just go like it's like hey Sakura, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, why is everybody wanting to get late?
Okay, here's the thing that I absolutely... Okay, the Fate route. Wholesome. Fine. You get to Unlimited
UBW.
Blade. You get one scene with Rin, and it's kind of iffy. You get to Heaven's
It's a little
Feel.
bit of tension.
Yeah.
And then Heaven's Feel is just, oh.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did no one remember Unlimited Blade Works' whole like caster basically wanting to tongue fuck?
Oh yeah.
Saber?
No, that's in every
that-
route. That's in every route. Don't get that wrong.
Yeah.
That
I
is in
know it's
every
not,
route.
but, like, we can't discredit that.
Yeah, no, that's in every
yeah.
route except for, I believe, Heaven's Feel.
Except Heaven's Feel, because all that shit happens, and yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah. So if we do if we do that, like Unlimited Blade Works first, then we'll do Heaven's Feel at double the speed, and then one time we will do the Fate route, but it'll be the Fate Dean that I used to be a part of, and that will be like a bit that's going at the speed of Mach fuck. Like it will not even be a 5-minute video. Anyways, Fate Apocrypha, we finally released that. We were having some copyright issues. Following the timeline along, that is when we had the Final Fantasy 15 opening finalized, Reclaim Your Throne by Nate Wants to Battle. That was a fucking banger. And during that time is when I decided I was going to rope in the Arden anime episode with Final Fantasy Brotherhood Abridged. Mostly because it's one more episode and it has a lot of storytelling in it.
And it has a lot of context for the game.
Yeah,
so even if you haven't played the game, guess what, motherfucker? Now you have context.
Yeah. Roughly in that same vein,
spoilers.
I believe in that exact same night, I finalized the Boruto Abridged opening, which we have the cast for, and we have had the cast for the Boruto project since the concept of abridged mixture. But when we decided to do episodes instead of like a short skit thing, we had to basically put Boruto on hold.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys are doing the movie, but if you guys ever end up doing like actual episodes,
No.
I just want to be Solder. I just want to be the snake. I want to be Monda.
No.
Random.
So we were only doing the movie because that is all I have the patience for.
That's fair.
The rest of it is already an abridged series in of itself with that animation.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have the cast for the Boruto project already, and I did include the auditions in the yearly recap video that we did, just for the reason that I stand by those voice actors that we cast for Boruto and Sarada, and the fact that they haven't been shown in anything yet is criminal, and the only person to blame for that is technically me. But I don't want to release abridged shorts of that because of I feel like I don't want to be releasing teasers for the Boruto project this time around. It's the same reason why I don't want to release any more abridged bits for Final Fantasy 15, because at that point it would just be spoiling the episode.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, so roughly around that time we finalized the opening for Boruto Abridged, which is Angels in the Wind. That song is we picked it because it sounded like incredibly anime-like, and Digi actually was the one who introduced me to that song. And so you have Digistruct to thank for that awesome tune, that awesome niche tune that we have for that. And then I got bored one day and made the You Won't Get Away With This abridged short for Fate Apocrypha. It used none of our voice actors. That was a line taken from Invader Zim.
Yes.
Banger of a show.
Banger of a show.
Yeah. Ugh.
So, and then we're following the timeline around a little bit, and that was the departure of Digistruct physically from Dice Bags, because he moved back down to Vancouver area. And that's where we had to say goodbye. There was a lot of there was no tears shed, although one member of Dice Bags almost cried like a little bitch. I won't say who. It was me. No.
Yeah, it was you fucking bitch.
No. But yeah, it was an emotionally charged time because we were uncertain on a lot of things. We didn't know where Dice Bags was going to go from there because we just lost a vital member of our crew, right? But then we figured out, well, we could just essentially phone Digistruct in for gaming episodes, and he could still be part of the creative process for me because the ideas he chipped in for some of the abridging stuff it's just stuff that we just talked about randomly while we were hanging out, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, we basically, Digistruct is still a co-founding member of Dice Bags, and he will be going forward. It's just now he's just a bit farther, but that doesn't like, it means less coming from like the fact that most of our fucking voice actors, none of us live close to each other. So there's already this level of, we're already handling things distantly with other members. Who's to say we can't do that with just our gaming crew as well?
Yeah. And I mean, hey, I know that you're still trying to get me to get more properly in with the gaming side of things, and I'm like, we still need to plan that.
We do. So we'll have a conversation after podcast about that.
Yeah.
But you did appear as a guest for I think a Call of Duty and a
couple.
Fortnite episode.
Yeah, and because I kid you not, I just woke up one morning, my new PC was fully realized in my hands, and then I just boot up my thing, and I'm like, I think something's missing, and then I realized it as I play back the video with me being as quiet as I was. But I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I looked on my phone, I'm like, the fuck are these dipshits doing up at 3 a.m.? And then like I give it a second so I can actually process, wake up a little bit, and then I get seated in my chair, and then I join the call.
Oh, yeah. And then yeah, that's how we got Tsubaki in gaming, and hopefully he'll be in more coming forward.
Oh yeah, because like there's some rough ideas that we can discuss.
Yeah, exactly. Like the difference is like with my IRL friends, we can only really talk about the IRL topics and then the channel, right? Whereas with you, we could go into other topics we can explore with that with Digi and Tired Geek, like voice acting, abridging, like, you know, other niche topics like that, like who's our favorite composers, things like that, you know, things like
literally branching it out.
Yeah, which adds a little bit more variety, and I think would be a nice addition to what we got going on. And technically speaking, you are a prime member of Dice Bags Gaming. You may not be a founder, but you are a prime member at this point. But anyways, following the timeline along, and by the way, I am ignoring a lot of our gaming content during this podcast, just because like we started that and there wasn't really any niches or developments as we continued the gaming content. It's kind of just been status quo. The only difference was the changing hands of editors, and that's about it. Anyways, continuing forward, around just 2 months ago is when we started the podcast. Our first episode was Chocobros and Arden. It was me, you, and Zach.
Yep.
I liked that first episode. It was a nice episode.
It was that little bit of like what's up, Choco Fox?
Yeah.
Experimenting.
It was, well, I mean, it was, I think the idea came from, like, we were just in a call and we were like, let's just make a fucking podcast out of this. No.
Might as well.
No. I remember exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. Do you remember the story? Because I remember the story.
Man, it's been a minute because like we started doing like 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And already my brain it already has it like,
no, it felt like it was like an eternity ago, right?
Yeah,
like a lot has happened in just fucking 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has happened in 2 months, and that is like me staring off in the distance like 1,000-yard Vietnam stare, because I'm not it like it was not good. But anyways, the podcast started because we were gonna record Left 4 Dead 2, but Zach didn't have the game. none of us had a game that we all three of us had, so we're like, all right, well, what the fuck are we doing? So I think it was me came up with the glorious idea of like, let's just fucking do a podcast, let's just talk about shit.
Yeah,
That was
pretty much, and that's how we started.
it was meant to be a one and done thing, but then we made the group chat for episode 2 and it stemmed from there. That is how the
Pretty much.
podcast began. I forgot what we talked about in episode 1. I think it was mostly just about the abridged.
It was a wild card one.
Yeah. Episode 2,
Where we kind of we went off on so many different topics, but like the one that we stuck with like more frequently towards the end was video game soundtracks.
yeah. And then immediately after that, next podcast was recorded the week after, and then that was, I believe, our sole focus was voice acting.
Yep, voice acting, abridged, and all that.
And then roughly around that time,
TTRPGs.
we re-released Fate Apocrypha again with the new opening tapped on it, which it still hasn't been taken down on Daily Motion, so that's probably gonna be Fate Apocrypha's home from now on. I might share snippets every once in a while when I finish an episode, and maybe a teaser every once in a while.
Yeah.
But that is Daily Motion is going to be its new home. Then we get into DBE podcast episode 3, the introduction of Rage, who has stayed here ever since.
Much.
Rage, are you still here or?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
How does it feel to be with us for this long and dealing with our
Good.
bullshit?
It feels good to be in a podcast again, because I was in another podcast that we had like 17 episodes recorded, and only one got out because the rest got corrupted. So it feels good for just to work out.
Yeah.
Man,
We would be on episode 10 if it wasn't for OBS shit in the bed.
a couple
constantly.
of our files also getting corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was bad.
So yeah, Ragerea joined us on episode 3 and has been a staple member of the podcast ever since. And that was also roughly around the same time when Zach fucking fell off a cliff and disappeared into God knows where. He hasn't been on another episode since, and this is me coming out thoroughly and saying that Zach, if you're listening, any week, buddy, any week.
You can come up from the hole, bro. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll throw the ladder down. It's cool.
Oh, that's what that was? Shit, I broke that.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you did what? Man, that's my editing hole.
So
Well, you got out. I didn't think we needed it anymore.
yeah, so that concluded the rise of Rage and the fall of Zach as we continue into the towards the end of the year. Finally, we did the Archer's Farewell abridged bit, which was done by me and then voiced by me and Tara. Tara did an excellent job as Ren. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Like,
it was
very
so
good.
It was so well that I could definitely hear us doing a form of Fate Stay Night abridged, whether that be just more abridged bits or something else in the future, because like Tara as Rin, fuck that sounded great. That was good. That was some good
Yeah.
stuff.
I will say this much: if we ever did do anything to do with like abridged bits with like fucking Fate Stay Night, my immediate offer to add as the biggest bit for Lancer.
Yeah.
You already know where I'm going with this, right?
No?
Make him actually Irish.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. Yeah.
Full on dialect.
Yeah.
Just like fuck all, bro.
We'll cast Lancer as Irish.
But to keep it in tradition.
Yeah. I think we'll keep Terra as Rin if we do any more Fate Stay Night stuff, because the voice is like, she nailed that performance.
Oh yeah.
I believe because Shu does Mordred in our Fate Apocrypha, and although she's great at that, I can't really see her as Saber. Maybe Morgan could do a decent Saber. On the fence about that. We'll
just have
figure
to
it
see.
out. We'll figure it out if we do.
We'll
anything
we'll
like
we'll
that.
go into the fuck around, find out state.
Yeah, we'll go. Basically, what I like to do when I'm plotting new abridged series is I like to sit down with the voice actors that I already got, and use the takes that they already have and some clips from their demo reels or casting calls, and try and fashion out a roster, I guess, so to speak. It's how I did the a lot of the other abridged stuff going forward. Like, so we did the recasting of the waitress. It's how we did. I think Semiramis was a scouted thing of me, essentially just doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is my process when we already have the voice actors to do that type of stuff. We might have to get a couple more voice actors just to iron out our crew, but I think with the crew that we have right now, I really want more of them to be in more stuff and not, essentially just be idle on the bench.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because, like, I feel bad for that. Like, I am to blame for that, but when we made that transition from a bridge mixture, it was our options were limited because for the longest time at the beginning, I was just the sole editor.
Yep.
Now that we have you on sound design, I think. I mean, I technically am doing multiple projects at once right now, which after Archer's Farewell, it essentially brings us into right now, to this point.
Yep.
At least for abridging content, which I apologize for everybody's ears. I'm probably going to be cropping that one out.
Yeah, I think Shat.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new XLR cable. God, but
At least the
Will they?
price wise on those aren't too bad.
yeah, no, that's when I figure out it's actually the audio interface, and I'm fucked.
Oh yeah, I had an issue like that, and that's what made me go from a fucking Scarlet to a SSL. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's control, baby.
getting into the modern era, I guess the now, as we approach the end of 2024, we have stuff cooking. We have stuff in the crock pot. We're changing a lot of our old content that was supposed to be their own thing into abridged bits, same as the Archer's Farewell, just so that we could utilize the voice actors that were originally supposed to play those roles. For example, Sayuri from Tribe 9. We're going to do an abridged bit in next year for Tribe 9. That's going to have our voice actor for Sayori. It's going to have the voice actor we have for Shun and Haru, which is... Hold on, let me bring up the fucking thing again. Because I do have it, like, loaded up here. Hold on. Did I fix it? Is it good?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Are
good.
we good?
Are we good? Okay. It's I don't know what's going on, man. I gotta replace that fucking cord. I think that's the only thing. But anyways, Yeah, Morgana Le Fay was originally supposed to be Sayori instead of the characters she's playing in the Fate Apocrypha Abridged. So we are gonna bring that back for that. We might have to recast Shun. I do have to talk to him. He was going through some union stuff, which wasn't allowing him to be able to voice act for us. So I need to see if that settled and we're in the good. Otherwise, we're gonna have to recast it. And then we got Daring Ashia as Haru. She also plays Boruto, both characters of which still hasn't seen the light of day. My bad.
I want to say that Boruto, incredible. I could have sworn that was just ripped from the straight anime.
Yeah. Yeah. She unbelievable job at Boruto. I mean, now that we're here, we also have Pyro as Sarada, which also great job, phenomenal job.
Yeah.
I just really want to see them, actually an abridged bit. Well, okay, for Sarada, that's gonna be in the movie. That'll come when it comes. That'll be its own thing. But for the Tribe 9 stuff, we are delegating that into abridged bits now. Just so that we can have that content on our channel and that it won't interrupt with the stuff we already got going on. So yeah, that's the plan for all of that. Right now, both me and Tsubaki have been cooking. And we're doing some work with an Arcane fan dub for you guys. It's only going to be a scene, so I really want to set expectations on that. It's not going to be a whole episode from Arcane. It's essentially just a scene that I seen, that I really liked, and I thought it could be good training for Tsubaki to do subtle sounds, because I remember we had a conversation about you not doing sound design like that before.
So I've done sound design that is like subtle, but it's like it's minimal, that it makes it harder to find sounds.
Yeah.
The difficulty is finding it. Placing it, it's not too shabby. Finding the sound in the first place is where challenge starts to rise and creep.
Yeah.
And slowly makes me go, what the fuck?
I think doing this is going to help us in the long run, just for a few reasons. One, we're voicing very subtle characters. Like, these are characters not being bombastic, you know what I mean? They're having a casual conversation. And there's a lot of emotion, but it's not an immediate emotion. Like, what the emotion you're meant to feel while watching that is more of this like melancholy kind of feeling, kind of like the same with like every fucking Arcane scene. But yeah, it's supposed to be a very melancholic scene that has an underlining like sadness to it, but
that builds up a little bit.
Us acting as the characters, it's not sad for us yet. You know what I mean? Like, the character you and I are playing, that is us just having a casual afternoon. You know what I mean? But the context of that scene is what makes it so heartbreaking. And conveying that is going to be a little bit of a task. It's a good thing that it's a fan dub, so a lot of that work is already done for us. But it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to voice act that, just because of it's an accent that I haven't done or you haven't done, which is going to add its own little twist vocally to us.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just a matter of actually getting the accent down, as well as tone.
Whatever you may think.
Cheeky bastard.
You're sorely mistaken. I'm Bozo number 1. But yeah, so the cat's out of the bag. I'm Silco and he's Vander. That's we're doing a scene between those two. Part of I think it was season 2 of Arcane. That is the scene we're going to be doing. I think if that goes well and we get like a decent viewing for that, we might
Could try more.
We might try more. I think we might take a shot at maybe, and don't fucking hold this to me because fan dubbing for that is going to be easier than abridging it. We might do an
Because
abridged bit of
with
it.
abridging something with 3D animation
Is hell.
is harder.
Yeah.
It's so much harder
I mean-
because not only is it worrying about keys, it's also then worrying about what the fuck else happens with motion in that scene.
Yeah. Well, not only that too. Like, I used to belong to a group, an abridging group, who was abridging Ruby, and like I overheard some of their like editing calls and like chats between each other. I was like in their Discord because I was a voice actor for them, and like
Yeah.
3D sucks, man.
Oh yeah,
Like,
especially when you know like it has some of the like few on and off moments as well with like doing something really good. Because I mean like early seasons of Ruby, goddamn Monty
Yeah.
hopping the fuck up.
Yeah, it's just I wish they would have figured out not to do the fucking shadow people from fucking Soul Eater, because that fucking really hurts them in
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah. But yeah, the 3D animation really does add its own beast to abridging, to the point where looking at it from an outside perspective, and if you haven't done it before, almost looks fucking impossible.
It really does, because I mean like the biggest challenge not only comes from like keeping the scene flowing in a way, it's a matter of making it not repeat itself and to still remain lively.
The thing that also is like the biggest challenge with doing 3D abridging is you are only given a small amount of lip flap to work with that you can't edit.
Because it is
A
meant
fluid
to be.
animation. And if you do
Yeah.
start editing the lip flap, it is
It's
noticeable.
gonna look weird.
Yeah, it's noticeable almost immediately.
It's
And-
like Canadians on South Park.
Yeah, it's like Canadians on South Park. And the thing is like, you can get some words that fit into those lip flaps. Now, add in the ability to adjust that dialogue, make it funny, make it simple, make it quick, and most importantly, make it flow. And then you got like an incredibly almost impossible task. Because
Pretty much.
like I was originally gonna make a abridged bit out of the Vander Silco scene, but
No,
it's impossible. Just with like
you would have to reanimate the whole scene,
yeah,
and God
And,
knows what the fuck type of program they used to animate that show.
a part of me.
Well, not to mention-
Jesus Christ!
So for a past like couple months there, I've been playing a lot of VR chat, and a part of me wanted to do like abridged bits, but as like VR skits. You know what I mean? Like live acted out in VR chat with people using full body VR, because I knew a few of them. And then it was going to be dubbed later by our voice actors. That was an idea that I had. Not sure if I want to pursue that. I might at some point. If you see it on the channel, I guess we did it. If you don't, then I guess we didn't.
Yeah,
But
If we didn't disregard this whole
yeah,
speech.
if we didn't disregard this whole speech, it might be something you might see later on, but it is in concept, if anything. And
Yeah.
the reason why I keep going into these little ideas for small projects like that is because
it's something to look forward to if it does come to fruition.
well, not only that, but like I've been dying to find a way to make quick, repeatable content for our anime side of the channel.
Yep.
Abridged bits, don't get me wrong, those are fucking golden. They're quick to edit. We could get them out of there. However, abridged bits does take at least 2 weeks to make. And that is implying I'm giving it the, hey, when it's done, I'm going to send it out whether it looks scuffed or not type of treatment. However, for this Arcane one, we're putting in a little bit more work. Mostly because I'm actually, Subaki's actually doing sound design on that one. I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but for the Archer bit, there was no sound design. It was music and dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
That was the gist of that sound design. I know I probably hurt you, Subaki, when I released it in that state, just because there is no sound design.
No, like honestly, I'm like entirely. I just focused on the voiceover work because I was just like, I want to know like. So usually, yeah, whenever I watched that one for the first time, I actually wanted to like just listen at what was scripted and then how it was delivered. And I'm like, this was good.
Yeah.
I like this. It's nice. Like the banter's good. The overall like conversation style of it actually does really work out in its favor. And then on top of that, it still carries that emotional weight by having that actual banter with it.
I think another thing too is it really helps me it doing the bridge bits like that and the fan dubbing, it's gonna help me with dialogue pacing and writing dialogue, right?
And it also gets some rust off the gears.
Yeah, it also helps me dust off that like those 3-4 years where I wasn't abridging. So yeah, going into the new year, Final Fantasy 15 will finally fucking release.
And man, I still can't wait to see how that turns out because like
Yeah.
I know that I kid you not, I sent this man a whole 12-minute long file that had every single Final Fantasy 15 sound effect.
Yeah, I shit you not. Every time I've been doing sound design since then, I've been going through that fucking library for almost like 30 minutes at a time before finally deciding what sound I want to use.
Like sometimes I'll do that too. Whenever I have to use the file myself. But if it's a project I know I'm going to use it for, I'm going to at least find 5 before I put it away, or still keep it off to the side in the timeline somewhere and just forget about it for 2 seconds until I notice it again. And I need another sound.
I absolutely hate the way DaVinci Resolve consolidates timelines and the media tab for that. Like, yeah, you can make bins, but they're clunky. You know what I mean? So I really hate having more sound effects than I need on the timeline. So what I do is I will only bring them over as I need them, which is the reason why if you ever deleted that Discord message with that with the files on it, I would be so royally fucked. You have no idea.
Oh yeah, I know because I sent you like 12 plus files to you. Yeah, I sent 4 in October, which was for metal crashing because you needed shit for the Magitech.
Yeah, because we were doing the Magitech armor.
And then I sent you. God damn, I'm having to scroll up so much. When did I send you more shit? I know I sent it up here somewhere. Where is it?
You did send me like an entire giant library, didn't you? I thought it was pinned.
I sent. Oh yeah, you're right. I sent you. Let me do the count here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 12.
7 eternities later.
Basically, I sent you 30 plus sounds.
Yeah.
Which ranged like from like kicks to hitting the body, footsteps, sword hits, even one that I was personally sent purely because I was also helping out with people at one point. Because there's this little mini project I was supposed to be a part of. It didn't see the light of day in a public posting because Instagram hated them. but it was supposed to be, um, it was Shiro Kotomine versus Sieg, that
Yeah.
final fight, and it was I had to take the role of Kala, Berserker of Black's Master.
Callous
And
for
I
millennia.
and I had to
Nazi
do the
bitches.
little the little like paragraph lines that he does whenever Sieg's still fighting. But essentially, like the person that did that project sent me that like 2-3 minute long file that had a whole little library of sounds on its own, and I use that with the FF15 sounds plus any other libraries I find, and I pick like 2, 3 to even up to 10 sounds per file before I start getting to work. And believe me, I wish I could show you what the fuck my timeline, like my media bin looks like sometimes. Because I kid you not, I fill that shit. I hold like 45 to 55 sounds in that media bin alone, and I start that fill before I start actually working, so I know I have it in there, and I don't have to go file, add, sound, get sound in. So that way I don't go that way ad infinitum.
His brain becomes fucking mush. I am Bender, please insert sound.
My shiny metal lamp.
But yeah, with that out of the way, I believe that summarizes a lot of the stuff we've done, a lot of the stuff we're working towards.
And I'm looking forward to do.
Is there
In
hindsight is 2020? So we will see
year shit.
what we actually did next year. So we're just we're setting expectations that we might not even commit to. But I mean, I'm fucking gonna hope that we get a lot of it done, because I gotta be honest, beginning of the year was fine. Middle of the year, it was a little rocky.
Slight decline.
The moment we hit like the end of the year, it was a fucking roller coaster down, man. This has been a roller coaster
took our
down
90
that
degree
hasn't
drop.
fucking stopped for a while. And I think just today it has finally felt like we may have hit that what the fuck's
Starting back up again.
what is the opposite of the apex? Like, anyways,
Fuck. The summit, I think. No, wait, no, that's...
no, yeah. The opposite of the summit. Anyways, I think we finally hit. We bottomed out, so to speak.
We plateaued.
Yeah. So
throwing
hopefully
words out
going
there.
into the new year, it's nothing but up from here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're hoping
Yeah.
it's bitching.
Yeah. So yeah, this
Gonna be
year,
one smooth year.
this year started off good, fucking turned into an absolute shit show. I just wanted to thank real quick everybody who has stuck through, listened to these podcasts, listened to our rambling, the new people that have started to join us. Say something in the comments. Let us know that that you indeed exist. If you've made it this far, I want you to comment root beer in the comment section for Subaki VA's constant dedication to cracking open a can of soda on each podcast. We hope that next year is filled with a lot more content, a lot more joy, a lot more cheer. We regret the people that we've had to let go, the people, because
The games people have spoiled for me.
yeah, the games people me the people we had to let go. It sucks when things like that have to happen, but things happen for a reason.
Shit changes.
We had to say goodbye to a founder, a few voice actors, a couple of members of like the background, and that sucks every single time that something like that has to happen. Although, like, for the majority of them, they left in good standing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, just hopefully we can hold on to the people that we still have. Maybe introduce some new people in the future, part of our lovely little group here. And yeah, we'll see you in the first podcast in 2025. Is there any year, like, wishes for the new year that you want to say before we end this episode? For me, it's just I want to keep the people we got. I want to see new friends. That's essentially it.
Yep.
What about you?
Food.
No, what about you, Sabaki? You got any nice wishes for the channel or for you professionally as a voice actor going in?
I'm hoping that soon I'm able to start getting my shit handled and probably get casted in a few more things. Whether it be for the channel itself or for stuff that I'm auditioning for as of late.
Yeah.
Not much else. Nothing too spicy. Not yet. I'm saving that for later.
Yeah. I believe I do have your casting call linked, so if you like the sound of Subaki's voice from our abridging stuff, go check out his casting call. If you think he'd be a good voice for something that you're doing, give him a shout.
You can even, like, well, that's kind of why I do enjoy Casting Call Club, at least occasionally, whenever you're able to, like, actually, like, link profiles and stuff, because, I mean, sure, it allows people to actually, like, look through what your, like, range is in a way.
Yeah.
So it, like, all in all, it's actually very helpful in a way to actually be able to look through, like, it ranges too, because you can also see, like, progress if they, like, changed equipment or, like, method of recording. So I honestly say, if you have any people that you see, like, Casting Call Club links for, and you're just like, I'm curious about what they've done, always, like, look at their profile to see what else you really want to look at. And then also just in general, actually, like, look through, like, their submissions and see how they've grown. And, like, hell, like, I've been replaying, like, auditions I've done from literally last year, and then seeing my progress from there, and it feels like night and fucking day.
What about
Yeah.
you? But what about you, Rage?
Well, unlike you guys, I don't want to be caught on a black couch being in front of a camera. You know, you have fun with your casting club bits.
Oh.
The casting couch. Oh God. No.
No, I want to keep maybe get into bridging. It's if I work up the courage for that.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, like abridging, like, as far as I myself see it, it is good practice. Like,
Yeah.
both fan dubs and abridging, it's good practice regardless of your skill level.
Yeah.
It's sure there will be the times when it's just like, come on, man, I need that energy. Give me that energy, bro. And sometimes you won't be able to deliver. And
Yeah.
like we've all started from ground zero, and we built up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, the abridging community nowadays is a lot less toxic than it used to be. It used to be
Yeah.
nothing but gatekeepers.
Oh
I
yeah,
wonder why-
it's like only Team 4 stars can do this shit. Only little Karibo.
Yeah.
Only something witty. Actually, they got a lot of flack at the beginning of the starting.
Anyways.
Yeah, I did.
From all of us at Dice Bags Entertainment, we want to thank you for, watching us, staying tuned, and just, being with us for this wild ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And if we don't achieve any of this shit, call us out, because we have it on video proof that we're fuck up.
All right.
You know what? To call it just properly, you know what I gotta do?
What?
Oh, God.
Anyways, we'll see you in 2025.